Hello, my dear children. In the last class, we discussed about Anne Frank's first entry in the diary and why she considered her diary, Kitty, to be her best friend in loneliness, to confide everything. She felt paper had more patience than people. Let us move on to the second part of the diary and read together. Since no one would understand a word of my stories to Kitty if I were to plunge right in, I would better provide a brief sketch of my life, much as I dislike doing so. My father, the most adorable father I have ever seen, didn't marry my mother until he was 36 and she was 25. My sister Margaret was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926. I was born on 12 June 1929. I lived in Frankfurt until I was 4. My father emigrated to Holland in 1933. My mother, Edith Hollander Frank, went with him to Holland in September, while Margaret and I were sent to Aachen to stay with our grandmother. Margaret went to Holland in December and I followed in February, when I was plunked down on the table as a birthday present for Margaret. Anne provides a brief sketch of her family, relatives, and her age. According to her, this will help the reader to know her well. Moreover, Anne thought no one would understand a word of her stories if she plunged into her writings. Anne called her father the most adorable father. He was 36 when he married her mother, who was just 25. She had an older sister, Margaret. Her father emigrated to Holland in 1933. Her mother, Edith Hollander Frank, went with him to Holland in September. The two sisters kept living in Germany with their grandmother. But as they were Jewish, they had to migrate to Holland for refuge. Then she writes about her schooling. She was sent to Montessori Nursery School. She stayed there until she was 6. At her farewell, she and her headmistress, Mrs. Kupras, had tears in their eyes and said her heartbreaking farewell. In the summer of 1941, her grandmother fell ill and had to have an operation. Her birthday passed with little celebration that year. Her grandmother died in January 1942. It was a great shock to her, and birthday celebration in 1942 was intended to make up for the other, and grandma's candle was lit along with the rest. Short period after her grandmother's death, she continues writing her diary. The four of us are still doing well, and that brings me to the present date of 20th June 1942 and the solemn dedication of my diary. Here, solemn dedication means formal opening. Let us answer these questions. Why does Anne provide a brief sketch of her life? Anne wants to give a brief overview of her family, relatives, and her age. According to her, this helped the reader to know her well. Moreover, Anne thought no one would understand a word of her stories if she directly plunged into her writings. Let us discuss the next question. What tells you that Anne loved her grandmother? Anne lived with her grandmother in Aachen when her parents emigrated to Holland in 1933. She became very close to her grandmother. When grandmother died in January 1942, she became very sad. This line makes it very clear. No one knows how often I think of her and still love her. Even on her 13th birthday, by lighting up one candle for grandmother, she shows her love for her. Let us see what's the next part of the diary. On Saturday, 20th June 1942, Anne made an entry in her diary. It was in the form of a letter to Kitty. She addressed her friend as Dearest Kitty. Through this letter, she tells Kitty about the students in her class who felt nervous at the time of annual results. Her view about teachers. She considered teachers to be the most unpredictable creatures on earth. Most difficult subject was maths for her. She and her friends were worried about it. She had good relationship with all the teachers except Mr. Keesing, who taught her maths. Mr. Keesing was annoyed by Anne's talkative nature. He used to give extra homework as punishment. He asked her to write an essay on a chatterbox. She wrote 3 pages for her satisfaction and defined it as a feature of a student, and also added that she inherited this trait from her mother, who also used to talk much. Next time, he assigned a second essay on an incorrigible chatterbox. Incorrigible means something that cannot be corrected. The teacher liked Anne's essays, but he could no longer tolerate her habit of talking in the class and asked her to write an essay entitled Quack, Quack, Quack. Anne wanted to write something interesting and different this time. So, with the help of her friend Zane, who was good at poetry, offered to help her write the essay from beginning to end in verse. Anne jumped for joy. The teacher had intended to play a joke on Anne, but she wrote the essay in such a way that it became a joke on him. It told the story of a mother duck and a father swan. The father bit his 3 ducklings to death because they quacked too much. Clearly, the father swan was Mr. Keesing, and the ducklings were the poor children in his class. Mr. Keesing took the joke in the right way and read poem to the class and to several other classes as well. After that incident, she was not even given any extra homework, and he himself cracked jokes with the children. Okay, try to answer these questions. Why was Mr. Keesing annoyed with Anne? What did he ask her to do? How did Anne justify her being a chatterbox in her essay? Do you think Mr. Keesing was a strict teacher? What made Mr. Keesing allow Anne to talk in class? Hope you understood. Now read the text once more and try to answer all the questions given at the end of the chapter. Thank you.